It's 1789, and George Washington has just been elected the first president of the United States. There's just one problem. Washington doesn't know yet. It takes 7 days for someone to ride a horse from New York to his front porch in Virginia to tell him he's now running the country. 7 days. Today you'd get a push notification before the polls even closed. Here's the thing nobody tells you. For most of American history, the news didn't come to you. You had to go get it, on foot, on horseback, or by sitting in a bar and waiting for a stranger to walk in. And the whole system was so slow, so drunk, and so wildly biased that it makes modern media look like a peer-reviewed science journal. Let's start with the newspapers. Because in early America, there was no such thing as a neutral newspaper. The idea would have sounded insane. Papers weren't trying to inform you. They were funded, often secretly, by political parties whose entire job was to make the other side look like criminals. A paper wouldn't just disagree with a candidate. It would call him a coward, a traitor, and a man whose face frightened small children. And people believed it because it was the only paper in town. And these papers were slow. There were no reporters. A newspaper in Boston would print news from London by literally waiting for a ship to cross the Atlantic, grabbing a London paper off the dock, and reprinting it word for word, 6 weeks late. Your breaking news was a month and a half old and had already survived a sea voyage. So how did you actually find out what was happening? You went to the tavern. The tavern was the internet. It was the post office, the debate stage, the comment section, and the bar, all in one sweaty room. The town's single newspaper was often chained to the wall there, and if you couldn't read, and plenty of people couldn't, someone would stand up and read it out loud to the whole room. Political arguments didn't happen online. They happened 3 feet from your face, and occasionally with fists, and the glue holding this entire ramshackle system together was the mail. The early post office wasn't mainly for letters. It was built to move newspapers. Congress made it dirt cheap to mail a newspaper and outrageously expensive to mail a personal letter on purpose because they decided a functioning democracy needed news to flow more than it needed your aunt's birthday card. Post riders bounced from tavern to tavern, dropping off papers, and each town would reprint the news from the town before it. The story got copied and recopied and slightly garbled at every stop, like the world's slowest game of telephone, powered by horses, which meant timing was everything, and nobody had it. Election results trickled in over weeks. A war could technically be over while soldiers kept fighting because word hadn't arrived yet, which is exactly what happened at the Battle of New Orleans, fought 2 weeks after the war ended, because the news was still on a boat. So the next time you're annoyed that a story is a whole 3 hours old, think about that guy riding 7 days through the mud to tell George Washington he won. We didn't get faster news because we got smarter. We got faster news because we got tired of waiting in the bar. The tavern went quiet, the horses retired, and the arguments, those just moved to your phone.